Welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I'm your host, Brandi, the Millennial Manager, and today is an email episode. Before we get started, remember to make sure that you're following me on this podcast, number one. Also, make sure you're following me on social media at Brandi, the Millennial Manager, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And now we have a brand new Patreon community. So on Patreon, it is $6 per month. You will receive the bonus episodes of the email. So we have our regular email episode, and then there's going to be an email bonus. So I'm going to be cutting down the email episode. I still have to kind of figure out how that's going to go. But then also, I lost my train of thought. The lives. So I won't be going live on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, not near as much anymore. So I'll be going live once a week on Patreon. And if you would like to join, you are more than welcome. It is $6 per month. And we're going to have the guests when we have guests on the podcast, which we have our first one coming next week. Her name is the Recruiter Cousin. And if you have any questions, I'm going to be pulling those questions directly from the Patreon. So the Patreon will get first dibs on any questions to ask the Recruiter Cousin, and we're going to be going off of those. Now, getting into our first email is not so much of a it's an update. I will just say that it's an update because back in September, I got an email from a young lady who was struggling with whether or not she should leave her job. And she sent me an email today at 12:44 and said, I have been struggling with this situation. Like, I did the pros and cons. I decided that I'm going to leave. I've applied to a bunch of jobs and I have not gotten any leads. I'm really kind of stuck, right? Is what she was saying. Literally 30 minutes later at 1:12, I got an email from her again, like Brandi, with my name in all caps. And she said, I literally just got a phone call from a position that I applied for. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. And she took the leap, y'all. She's going for an interview. And that's what this is all about, giving you the tools to take the first step. And it's okay to do it scared, y'all. So always remember, you can be scared, but just do it. Do it anyway. Do everything that you need to do, whether you're terrified, whether you're confident, make the move. Do not get stuck. So I want to go into our first email of the episode, and it says, Hey, Brandi. Hey, girl. Let me first say that I love your podcast and have been binging it since last week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. My workplace is kind of odd, to say the least. I've been at this doctor's office for about 4 months and the culture is weird. My supervisor only comes out of her office to use the bathroom or to pick up her DoorDash order. She speaks when she arrives and when she leaves, but she never engages with the team. She delegates everything to her team lead, and I do mean everything. Whenever we have a question or concern, she tells us to use the team lead. What? You are the manager. We have to send all the emails and approvals to the team lead. There are about 20 of us on the team, and the team lead is very frustrated, short, and irritated by the amount of emails and responsibilities. It has gotten so bad and that now I don't feel comfortable asking the team lead a question because I don't want to bother her because she's so overwhelmed. I sit near her and I can hear her sighing all day. I have to stay at this job for at least 2 more months, but I am not sure what else to do. The culture is so unusual. Betty, you are right. This is a very unusual environment. Your supervisor is not a supervisor at all. She's just collecting a check, and this poor team lead is struggling because she has to do all the responsibilities of this manager, and not only the responsibilities of the manager, but she's probably expected to complete her tasks, her duties, and now she has to answer to 20 team members. So I can only imagine how that feels for her. I would say that you're probably not going to stay here long. Okay, so I would not say anything. There's nothing you can say that's going to make them change because this is the dynamic. And until the team lead makes it the manager's problem, it's not going to change. So saying nothing is beneficial because they have to want to change this dynamic. And if the office does not want to change it, I'm not sure if you all have a senior administrator, which it sounds like y'all need one, because everyone should have a administrator that can oversee. And if you don't have someone that is providing the site to the location, what is happening? Even though there are managers on site, there should always be a senior administrator. So I would not say anything. It sounds like you're preparing to leave anyway because you're just staying at the job 2 more months. I would not open my mouth and mind the business that pays me. And that's my God honest opinion. All right, y'all. So on to our next email. It says, my coworker was asked by our senior director or her senior director about her voting status. For context, my coworker wasn't eligible to vote until recently, but had to register again. She missed the registration deadline and will be ineligible to vote in this election. Now back to the senior director. She asked her multiple times if she had registered to vote and had she voted. The senior director commented that she will no longer pay her shift differential if she didn't vote. My coworker eventually said yes to stop her from inquiring. Then the senior director in my coworker's presence looked up her registration status, and she saw that she wasn't registered, and again said that she would not pay her shift differential because she lied regarding her status of being registered to vote. Is this legal? I am positive it is not. More context, our employer is a nonprofit hospital. Oh my God. Baby. First of all, I am going to tell the truth. I had to do some research on this because I was not completely sure, but I'm about to tell you exactly what this says, okay? Okay. Now, the National Labor Relations Act protects employees' rights to engage in concerted activity, which includes discussing working conditions and other matters of mutual interest. It also says that in the United States, it is illegal for employers to discriminate against employees based on their political affiliation or voting status. Okay. Also, it says, additionally, many states have laws that specifically prohibit employers from interfering with employees' voting rights. These laws may include provisions that require the employees to provide employees or employers to provide employees with time off to vote or post information about voter registration deadlines. Okay? Now, if your coworker feels like the director's motives are let me see how I can word this. If your coworker feels like the senior director actions, if they're motivated by her political affiliation or voting status, she may have a claim for discrimination, and she needs to file that through the state. Okay. And she can also file with the NLRA. And I'm going to go back to that. That is the National Labor Relations Act. Okay. That is illegal, baby. That is illegal. Okay. Just want to touch on that we need to know our rights as employees. There are certain things that your managers, your CEOs, your company, okay, the people that work at your company, they should not be asking you very personal things. And voting is one of them, especially if they are going to be offering pay differential to vote. It says right here that is illegal. So y'all need to know that if someone tells you at work, well, you have to show proof that you voted in order for you to get shift differential pay, that is illegal. And she cannot withhold that from you. Okay? Okay. All right, y'all. So on to our next email. It says, I love listening to your podcast and I love your advice on certain situations. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you love it here. I would like to know your opinion. My manager had a meeting with me about goals, and right now I do a workload and I do a lot on my own independently for an institute I work for inside of a hospital setting. I do a lot of referrals for them and have for a few years now. The other day, I had a meeting with both my supervisor and manager. My manager or my supervisor's manager created a goal to have everything to zero by the end of the day, which is impossible. My supervisor used to do my job, but she would never have anything at zero at the end of the day. Do you think they are doing this on purpose to get me out? Yes. I have never had any complaints or no one has ever said do more. It's very odd to me and I work hard. I am having mixed feelings now about staying. What should I do? I think this is the beginning stages of a PIP. This is so weird that they're going this route, but it's kind of like, you know how when people create like an action plan and they want to know what you're doing every single day of every single hour, basically all of the tasks that you are completing. So basically what they want you to do is you're going to have to track this as well. Start your day with all of the tasks and responsibilities that you have to have complete, and they want them completed at the end of the day, every day. And so it's task tracking, I believe is the term that they use. But I would be very careful because it sounds like it's the beginning stages of a PIP. I'm not sure why you would have a PIP though, because no one has ever complained to you. No one has ever said anything about your work. So I think that could be the case. This seems a little crazy that they would go this route. So I am a little bit stumped, but it just seems so weird. They want you to have all your tasks done and or at zero, meaning 100% complete. So either your manager or your supervisor is seeing that there is certain things that you are not finishing by the end of the day. She doesn't care if she didn't do it, but now she's trying to hold you to a different standard because now she's a supervisor. So I would just be very careful in this little time period until you can kind of figure out exactly where they're going with this. I would tread lightly. I would definitely start looking for another job because it sounds like the beginning stages of a PIP. I could be crazy, but once they start task tracking, they are getting ready to see what you can and cannot do during the day, is what it seems like. And maybe there have been some questions from your supervisor about why things are not 100% complete at the end of the day. I feel like this is where this is going. So please keep us updated because I definitely would like to know more about that. All right, y'all. So our next email is coming from a young lady that is in the dental field, and it says, "Hi, Brandi. Let me start by saying I love your videos. They really help me through some things that I have going on at work. I'm so glad that these videos are helping you. I'm a front desk office associate at a dental practice. I recently hit my 3-year work anniversary about a month ago, September 22nd to be exact. Hitting that milestone was supposed or is supposed to come with a pay increase and moving to level 2 in my position. I have yet to receive anything. It's so frustrating. I've been reaching out to HR multiple times. This week, I reached out to the COO directly. She congratulated me for reaching that milestone and said that I should hear something by October 25th. That was this past Friday, guys. Still nothing. Is there any advice you can give me? Should I reach out to them again? No. Don't say anything else. Let them offer you the position. Let them offer you that raise. Do not say anything else because you've already brought it to their attention. They know. Now, whether or not they act on it is up to them, and then you're going to really have to make some decisions. But what we are not about to do, okay, because it ain't no money that you done already made. This is supposed to be something that is coming, a role change, a pay change. But I would not continue voicing my opinion or voicing my request when they already know. They're inside of HR, someone knows when everyone's anniversary, hire date is. There's someone that knows the birthdays. There's someone that knows the anniversary date. Someone knows. They just have not taken the time to get to you, which lets you know how high you are on the priority list. Let's just be for real. Okay? You've already voiced your opinion. There is no need to continue talking to these people about it because they are showing you right now where this is possibly going. Okay? So use this 3 years as updating your resume. Okay? All right. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. So that's going to be it for our podcast episode for today. Make sure that you are following me on social media at Brandi, the Millennium Manager. Also, make sure that you're following the podcast. And if you would like to be a part of the Patreon community, remember that it is $6 per month and the link is in my bio. So I will see y'all on the internet. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and y'all take it easy. Bye-bye.